All right, electricians, let's talk about accessories for the Lectric XPedition. This is kind of the minivan of cargo e-bikes. A lot of functionality you can put on the back of this rack. Lectric sent me most of these accessories as well. So today I'm going to show you different configurations you can do, starting out with what I have done for my situation here. We've got some big panniers over here. We've got the seats in this box here. So let's get into it. Before we get started, let me show you the Xnito Class 3 helmet here. This is a Class 3 e-bike, the XPedition is, and you're going to want something that protects your head. So definitely check out the Xnito, xnito.com/crisscross if you want to pick one up for yourself. This is the gold design, and it's a really thick helmet. It's got really good thickness to it. It's NTA 8776 rated for e-bike riders up to 28 miles an hour, so definitely check these guys out when you get a chance. Let's take a look at the handlebar configuration here. I've got a few things up front. We have, of course, just a half-knee rear end mirror here on the side. Just pop out the little handlebar ends here, and you can place one in there. I've got a bell. This is I forget the name of the company, but this is also hides a AirTag adapter. So my AirTag's in here as well. And then I've got a front rack, front bag here on the handlebar system that holds my keys and small tools and other things like that. Here's a quick look at the bag. It has a little front clear compartment. I've got some just cards and stuff in there, and it just leads into a bigger pocket here. Fits nicely under the cables here on the XPedition, and this is a wolf base bag. I'll put a link to all these items in the description so you can check them out for yourself. But I definitely recommend some kind of front bag up here for the XPedition, just to hold your small stuff in beyond just what the cargo box can offer you. So there you go. Pretty simple setup on the handlebars here up front on the XPedition. Moving down on the e-bike, of course, we have the electric bottle holder here. You have three bosses here to put something, either a lock or a bottle holder. So I've got the bottle holder here, and I've got the electric folding lock here on the seat down tube. This just folds out. It comes with keys, and it's only about like 25 bucks. You can also buy these on Amazon under the big Lufu brand as well if you want to save a few bucks. But I have the electric version here, and this is a good way to just lock up your bike when you go into Target or wherever on this thing. Okay, so I put the comfort seat package on my XPedition. But there's a trick to doing this, and I'll show you that in a second. But this is the comfort seat. It's their nice big plush padded seats. Works really well on the XPedition because there's no front suspension, of course. You have a rigid fork down here. So you're going to want something more comfortable on the seat post there to sit on and to take up some of those bumps while you're on the road. You can see it here. It'll kind of compress down as you go over bumps when you sit on it. Now this comes with a really long seat post, on the original e-bike that you get. But in order to fit the comfort seat post, which is a suspension seat post, on this, you need a shim. So let me take this out, and I'll show you guys what that shim looks like. So the comfort seat post is a 31.8 dimension in terms of diameter there, and the shim is it's actually, my shim is stuck in there, but I believe it's a pretty big shim. It's like 33.8, I think. I'll put here's a picture of the shim right here. You can see it. I'll put a link to that exact shim you need, including the proper size, on the description of the video, so you guys can pick that up as well. So it's nice and tight now without the shim. Okay, on the back of the bike I have the Orbitor, which is basically like a little cargo cage, I guess you can call it, that sits in here, and it attaches to the rack itself. And I chose to put a kind of a large cooler bag in here. as my main storage compartment. That's what this is. This is the brand is called Hamamel. Let me show you a picture of that. There's the brand name there. Again, I'll put a link in the description. But this is, it's a pretty big bag. The inside of this orbital is like a good 22 inches long, at least inside of it. Maybe 15 inches across. And so here's what it looks like inside. It's just a big storage compartment. I put a piece of cardboard down there as a kind of a floor just to help make it a little more rigid down there. Didn't have any kind of a hard floor that comes with it, so it's kind of loose and baggy. So I put some cardboard in there to do that. And it also has some cup holders here on the side. There's 4 cup holders you can put stuff in as well. So it's a nice little compartment there. I basically have attached it to the orbital on both ends, with some Velcro ties there, just to keep it locked in place so it's not moving anywhere. So there you go. So you can fit like 2 grocery bags in there, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to try and do some door dashing with it this summer, I think, just to try that out and see what it's like. And it's a pretty big bag. I mean, you see the helmet in there in terms of how big it is, but you can fit 2 grocery bags in here, lots of space. And it's a good 21 inches long, I think the bag is. That fits inside the Orbiter here. Okay, so that's a run through of what I have on my e-bike. There's about 9 things on here, I think, roughly. A few $100 in accessories. Let's look at some other configurations. We'll start out with put the big panniers on the sides. Take off the Orbiter. Take off my bag here. Put the panniers on so I can show you what that looks like. And then we'll move on to the seating package in terms of what you can do with extra seats on the back for passengers. All right, here's a look at the electric pannier. It's a very big pannier. It's got some Velcro inside. I'm trying to do this with one hand. You can see what it looks like. It's got a pouch inside. It's got a hard bottom as well. It's got these dividers as well you can use to divide stuff. And it's a really nice big piece of storage area. I think you can fit 2 grocery bags in there as well. Now, one note, it does not fit on the e-bike if you have the Orbiter on here. So you need to take this off. It gets, this part here, this bar gets in the way of you strapping it to the top of the rack back here. So keep that in mind. You won't be able to fit the panniers on if you have the Orbiter on. So I got to take this off. I got my little 4mm Allen wrench, and let's get it off. Okay, so on the back of this we have these Velcro straps, 4 of them, to put alongside the top of the rack to attach it. And one tip I have is to start the first strap on this side of the e-bike, because you want to keep it as far away from the pedals as possible, because the pedals will hit this if it's too far forward. So make sure you keep it back more on the rack. Alright guys, we've got the both panniers on the back rack of the XPedition. Look at that ass. It's got lots of storage back there. And you can still put whatever you want on top here. You can put the flat seats on here. You can put another big kind of rack bag back there. probably a good idea as well. But lots of extra space there as well, in addition to what the Panniers can give you. So gotta love it. Here's a little side profile of the e-bike. Let me zoom out here. And she's looking good. Now there's plenty of room back here for your feet. You've got a good, at least I'd say 8 inches back there of space to pedal. So oh yeah, look at that. There's plenty of space back there. You'll never hit that pannier with your heels. So definitely push them back as far as you can on this XPedition. And one more thing to add about these panniers is that they fold up into basically a flat item. So let me show you how that works. You're going to basically pull up the floor back here, just like that. Got it flat there. Bring this all the way down. Now it's a flat piece of just cargo on here. So it's nice that you can actually fold that down and just keep it out of the way, you know, when you're storing it or whatever. And to bring it back up, put the floor down, and there you go. It's all set, ready to roll. Now let's look at the seating packages here. So they sent me 2 of the cushion seats here, and these simply attach to these 2 things right here, these little crossbars, using the little I don't know what you call these things, brackets or whatever. These brackets just slip underneath those 2. See, they're curved here. They just slip underneath this part right here, and you just screw them back into place to tighten them up. All right, so this is what the seats look like for the passengers. A lot of room back there for anybody to sit, and it also looks pretty good too. It just has a nice kind of top for that back rack. Okay, I got the +1 chair on there, so you can have a passenger sit back here. It's pretty wide. It's a good. It's almost. Gosh, I'm not sure what the width is there. I'll have to measure it, but you know, a full-size person can sit back there, most likely, right? You can keep the other pad over here for whatever. Now we've got a few more things here. We got these foot pads, I guess you want to call them. They've got a little push button lock there, so they're going to go right in here. So let's get those on and see what it looks like. All right, so there's a look at the +1 seat back there with the footboards, both sides. Let's get you a look at the rear. Some people also leave these on if they put the panniers on the bike, just as a kind of a floor for the panniers as well. I've seen that before. All right, I've got also the barrel bar, which goes on the seat post for that rear passenger as well. So let's get that on. That's my last item I have to put on this thing. Also want to show you the bottom of the seat, +1 seat with the padded seat on it. You have to put this bigger piece, fatter piece to the back of that rear. This is where the screw slots through, and then you can screw it on from there. Wasn't able to use that bracket that was here. It was just easier to screw it on directly, just because there wasn't a lot of clearance with the screw there. But yeah, that's what that looks like. Last but not least, we have the barrel bar. So this is basically a handlebar for the rear passengers. It sits right here on the seat post. So let's get it on and see what it looks like. All right, here's the barrel bar installed. Pretty easy install. Just needs a 5mm Allen wrench. Goes right on the seat post. And there's your new handlebar for the rear seat riders. Pretty nice. I kind of like this setup if you're going to carry, your friends on there. It's a pretty good setup right there. Well, there you go, kids. Hope you like that run through of the Lectric XPedition accessories. I will put links to everything in the description. I'm an affiliate of Lectric. I'm an affiliate of the Amazon stuff here, so definitely use those links. Help support the channel. I earn a small commission every time you buy. Doesn't cost you anything extra, so just keep that in mind and appreciate the clicks there. You got any questions on it? Anything we've done today? Just drop them in the comments. Happy to answer your questions. Always responsive on the Crisscross channel. So I love this e-bike. It's a great go-getter, and it's their fastest e-bike in my opinion. I think I hit 29, 30 on a flat with this thing when it was fully charged. So it's a great bike to ride, and again, the cheapest cargo bike on the market with hydraulic brakes, dual batteries, adjustable stem up there. I mean, what's to complain about? It's fantastic e-bike for the money, and pick one up for yourself if you're in the market for a cargo e-bike. That's it for now. Catch you next time on Crisscrossed.